They arrived at 5 o'clock.
They arrived on Friday.
They arrived in October. They arrived in 1998.
I don't like working at night.
Will you be here at the weekend?
Do you give each other presents at Christmas?
The manager isn't here at the moment.
Kate and I arrived at the same time.
I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you on Friday morning.
Do you work in the evenings? Do you work on Saturday evenings?
I'll see you next Friday.
They got married last March.
I'll see you on Friday.
Or,
I'll see you Friday.
I don't work on Monday mornings.
Or,
I don't work Monday mornings.
The train will be leaving in a few minutes.
Andy has gone away. He'll be back in a week.
They'll be here in a moment.
They're getting married in 6 months' time.
I learnt to drive in 4 weeks.
The 11:45 train left on time.
I'll meet you at 7:30.
OK, but please be on time.
The conference was well organised. Everything began and finished on time.
Be on time. Don't be late.
Will you be home in time for dinner?
I've sent Tracy a birthday present. I hope it arrives in time.
I'm in a hurry. I want to get home in time to see the game on TV. I got home too late to see the game on TV. We got to the station just in time for our train.
a child ran into the road in front of the car. I managed to stop just in time.
I'm going away at the end of January.
At the end of the concert, everyone applauded.
The players shook hands at the end of the game.
I'm going away at the beginning of January.
We had a lot of problems with our car. We sold it in the end.
He got more and more angry. In the end, he just walked out of the room.
Alan couldn't decide where to go for his holidays. He didn't go anywhere in the end.
At first, we didn't get on very well, but in the end, we became good friends. There's no one in the room.
What have you got in your hand?
When we were in Italy, we spent a few days in Venice.
I have a friend who lives in a small village in the mountains.
There were some people swimming in the pool. Who is that man standing at the bus stop?
Turn left at the traffic lights.
We have to get off the bus at the next stop.
When you leave the hotel, please leave your key at reception.
I sat on the floor.
There's a dirty mark on the wall.
Have you seen the notice on the notice board?
You'll find details of TV programs on page 7.
The hotel is on a small island in the middle of a lake.
There were a lot of people in the shop. It was very crowded.
Go along this road, then turn left at the shop.
I'll meet you in the hotel lobby.
I'll meet you at the entrance to the hotel.
There is some water in the bottle.
There is a label on the bottle. There is somebody at the door. Shall I go and see who it is?
There is a notice on the door. It says, "Do not disturb." When I go to the cinema, I like to sit in the front row.
James isn't up yet. He's still in bed.
It was a lovely day. There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
I've just started working in the sales department.
Who is the woman in that photo?
Have you seen this picture in today's paper?
In Britain, we drive on the left.
Or,
In Britain, we drive on the left-hand side.
our apartment is on the second floor of the building.
Here's a shopping list. Don't buy anything that's not on the list.
Have you ever worked on a farm?
Budapest is on the Danube.
The town where you live, is it on the coast or inland?
We stopped to buy some things in a shop on the way home.
Write your name at the top of the page.
Jane's house is at the other end of the street.
I was sitting in the back when we crashed.
The garden is at the back of the house.
Let's sit at the front.
We were at the back, so we couldn't see very well.
I wrote the date on the back of the photo.
The TV is in the corner of the room.
There is a small shop at the corner of the street.
Anna's mother is in hospital.
I'll be at work until 5:30. Julia is studying chemistry at university.
I'll be at home all evening.
Or,
I'll be home all evening.
Shall we go to a restaurant or eat at home?
Were there many people at the party?
I saw Steve at a concert on Saturday.
We went to a concert at the National Concert Hall. The meeting took place at the company's head office in Frankfurt.
There was a robbery at the supermarket.
There's no need to meet me at the station. I can get a taxi.
I was at Helen's house last night.
Or,
I was at Helen's last night.
We had dinner at the hotel. All the rooms in the hotel have air conditioning.
I was at Helen's house last night. It's always cold in Helen's house. The heating doesn't work well. The Louvre is a famous art museum in Paris. Sam's parents live in a village in the south of France.
does this train stop at Oxford?
The bus was very full. There were too many people on it.
Laura arrived in a taxi.
Jane passed me on her bike.
When are your friends going back to Italy?
3 people were injured in the accident and taken to hospital.
Welcome to our country.
Did you enjoy your trip to Paris?
They are going to France.
But
They live in France.
can you come to the party?
But
I'll see you at the party. I've been to Italy 4 times, but I've never been to Rome.
Amanda has never been to a football match in her life.
What time did they get to London?
They arrived in London a week ago.
When did they arrive at the hotel?
I'm tired. Let's go home now.
I met Lisa on my way home.
I opened the door, went into the room and sat down.
A bird flew into the kitchen through the window.
Every month my salary is paid directly into my bank account.
She got in the car and drove away.
I read the letter and put it back in the envelope.
She got out of the car and went into a shop.
She got on the bus and I never saw her again.
We sat in the shade. It was too hot to sit in the sun.
Don't go out in the rain. Wait until it stops.
When you do the exam, you're not allowed to write in pencil.
Please write your name in capital letters.
Write the story in your own words. They're very happy together. They're in love.
In my opinion, the movie wasn't very good.
I didn't watch the news on television, but I heard it on the radio.
I've never met her, but I've spoken to her on the phone a few times.
There are no trains today. The drivers are on strike.
I've put on a lot of weight. I'll have to go on a diet.
Look, that car is on fire.
Sometimes I have problems at work, but on the whole, I enjoy my job.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to annoy you. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm going on holiday next week.
Emma's away on business at the moment.
One day I'd like to go on a world tour.
Steve has gone to France for a holiday. Tracy left school at 16.
Or,
Tracy left school at the age of 16.
The train was travelling at 120 miles an hour.
Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Can I pay by credit card?
You can contact me by phone or by email.
we hadn't arranged to meet. We met by chance.
I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident.
Jess usually goes to work by bus.
Did you come here by car or on foot?
They didn't come in their car. They came in a taxi.
We travelled on the 6:45 train.
Have you ever been bitten by a dog?
The programme was watched by millions of people.
The door must have been opened with a key.
The door must have been opened by somebody with a key.
Have you read anything by Ernest Hemingway?
Come and sit by me.
Where's the light switch?
By the door.
Claire's salary has just gone up from £2,500 a month to £2,750, so it has increased by £250.
Or,
So it has increased by 10%.
Carl and Mike had a race over 200 metres. Carl won by about 3 metres.
The company closed down because there wasn't enough demand for its product.
There's no excuse for behaviour like that. There's no need for it.
The train was late, but nobody knew the reason for the delay.
The advantage of living alone is that you can do what you like.
There are many advantages in living alone.
Or,
There are many advantages to living alone.
The cause of the explosion is unknown.
Rachel showed me some pictures of her family.
I had a map of the town, so I was able to find my way around.
There has been an increase in the number of road accidents recently.
Last year was a bad one for the company. There was a big fall in sales.
The accident was my fault, so I had to pay for the damage to the other car.
Did you get an invitation to the party?
I hope we find a solution to the problem.
I was surprised at her reaction to my suggestion.
His attitude to his job is very negative.
Or,
His attitude towards his job is very negative.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
The police want to question a man in connection with the robbery.
The police believe that there is no connection between the two crimes.
There are some differences between British and American English.
Thank you. It was very kind of you to help me.
It is stupid of me to go out without a coat in such cold weather.
They have always been very nice to me.
Why were you so unfriendly to Lucy?
There's no point in getting angry about things that don't matter.
Are you annoyed with me for being late? Lisa is upset about not being invited to the party.
Are you nervous about the exam?
They were delighted with the present I gave them.
Were you happy with your exam results?
Everybody was surprised at the news.
I hope you weren't shocked by what I said.
I'm very impressed with her English. It's very good.
I don't enjoy my job anymore. I'm fed up with it.
Or,
I don't enjoy my job anymore. I'm bored with it.
come on, let's go.
I'm tired of waiting.
Or,
Come on, let's go. I'm sick of waiting.
I'm sorry about the mess. I'll clear it up later.
Sorry about last night.
Alex is very sorry for what he said.
I'm sorry for shouting at you yesterday.
I'm sorry I shouted at you yesterday.
I feel sorry for Matt. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Are you afraid of spiders?
Yes, I'm terrified of them.
Why are you always so jealous of other people? He didn't trust me. He was suspicious of my motives. Did you know he was married?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
I'm sure you are capable of passing the examination.
Amy is a very active person. She's always full of energy.
I'm short of money. Can you lend me some?
He's late again. It's typical of him to keep everybody waiting.
I think she's arriving this evening, but I'm not sure of that.
Or,
I think she's arriving this evening, but I'm not sure about that.
I'm not very good at repairing things. Louise is married to an American.
Louise is married with 3 children.
But
Louise is married to an American.
Your writing is similar to mine.
The film was different from what I'd expected.
Or,
The film was different to what I'd expected.
are you interested in art?
We stayed at home because Chris wasn't very keen on going out.
I don't want to be dependent on anybody.
The streets were crowded with tourists.
The Italian city of Florence is famous for its art treasures.
Who was responsible for all that noise last night?
Who was that man you were talking to?
We spent the evening listening to music.
They apologized to me for what happened.
Can you explain this word to me?
I explained to them why I was worried.
Let me describe to you what I saw.
I called the airline to cancel my flight.
He refused to answer my question.
Can I ask you a question?
He thanked me for helping him.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I look stupid with this haircut. Everybody will laugh at me.
Don't point that knife at me. It's dangerous. We saw someone with a gun shooting at birds, but he didn't hit any.
He got very angry and started shouting at me.
He shouted to me from the other side of the street.
Somebody threw an egg at the minister.
Lisa shouted catch and threw the keys to me from the window. We talked about a lot of things at the meeting.
We had a discussion about what we should do.
We discussed a lot of things at the meeting.
If you're worried about the problem, you should do something about it. I sent an email to the company asking them for more information about the job. I think you'd be good at this job. Why don't you apply for it?
Don't wait for me. I'll join you later.
I'm not going out yet. I'm waiting for the rain to stop.
I've searched the house for my keys, but I still can't find them.
I haven't seen her since she left home for the office this morning.
He's very selfish. He doesn't care about other people.
You can do what you like. I don't care what you do. I don't care for very hot weather.
Alan is 85 and lives alone. He needs somebody to care for him.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. I'll take care of the travel arrangements. You don't need to do anything.
I've lost my keys. Can you help me to look for them?
Alan is 85 and lives alone. He needs somebody to look after him.
You can borrow this book, but you must promise to look after it.
Did you hear about the fire at the hotel yesterday?
Who is Tom Hart?
I have no idea. I've never heard of him.
Have you heard from Jane recently?
Yes, she called me a few days ago.
I've thought about what you said and I've decided to take your advice. Will you lend me the money?
I'll think about it.
It was my idea. I thought of it first.
I felt embarrassed. I couldn't think of anything to say.
What did you think of the movie?
I didn't think much of it.
When I'm alone, I often think of you. My sister is thinking of going to Canada.
I dreamt about you last night.
Do you dream of being rich and famous?
Don't tell anyone what I said.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
We complained to the manager of the restaurant about the food.
We called the doctor because George was complaining of a pain in his stomach.
I'm glad you reminded me about the meeting. I'd completely forgotten about it.
This house reminds me of the one I lived in when I was a child.
Look at this photograph of Richard. Who does he remind you of?
I knew he was a strange person. I had been warned about him.
Vicky warned me about the traffic. She said it would be bad.
Scientists have warned us about the effects of climate change.
Sue accused me of being selfish.
Some students were suspected of cheating in the exam.
His parents don't approve of what he does, but they can't stop him.
What did he die of?
A heart attack.
We had an enormous meal. It consisted of 7 courses.
I didn't have enough money to pay for the meal.
I didn't have enough money to pay the rent.
I'll never forgive them for what they did. When I realized I was wrong, I apologized for my mistake. Everybody blamed me for the accident.
Everybody said that I was to blame for the accident. The accident wasn't my fault. Don't blame it on me.
There's been an increase in the number of people suffering from heart disease.
Sunblock protects the skin from the sun.
What time will you be home?
I don't know. It depends on the traffic.
You can rely on Anna. She always keeps her promises.
Are you going to buy it?
It depends how much it is.
Or,
It depends on how much it is.
Michael's salary is very low. It isn't enough to live on.
I congratulated her on doing so well in her exams.
The meal was really good. I complimented Mark on his cooking skills. Do you believe in God?
I believe in saying what I think.
The story can't be true. I don't believe it.
Helen is a lawyer. She specializes in company law.
I hope you succeed in finding the job you want.
Our house was broken into a few days ago, but nothing was stolen.
He lost control of the car and crashed into a wall.
The book is divided into 3 parts.
She's a famous writer. Her books have been translated into many languages.
There was an accident this morning. A bus collided with a car.
Take this saucepan and fill it with water.
The school provides all its students with books.
What happened to that gold watch you used to have?
They only invited a few people to their wedding.
I prefer tea to coffee.
I tried to concentrate on my work, but I kept thinking about other things.
I wanted to go alone, but some friends of mine insisted on coming with me.
How much do you spend on food each week?